So good afternoon. Today is September 20th, 2025, and I'm outside today. This is the Michael D. Antonovich Antelope Valley Courthouse. I spent much of my time has been in here. This was one of the spots when I was a brand new police officer. I used to work the graveyard shift. And then when I worked the graveyard shift, I used to come here every morning and just come into the different courts, and I would watch the different proceedings. I would watch the trials, I would watch traffic court, I would watch probate, I would watch civil cases, and I would just want to see how the judges interact. And it was really, really interesting. When you come sometimes in the mornings, on the morning calendar, the judge has like 15 to 20 motions that he'll hear. And that was a really interesting process to see. And one thing that I could say is, like, back in 2000, some of my first experiences, maybe it was like around 2012 in here when I had my actual cases here. And I used to feel really, really nervous because I would walk up and I'm a per litigant. You call it pro se. And you walk up and you got all these attorneys who are trained in this stuff, are trained, and you don't really know what's going on. And you're going back and forth with the judge. And that started off in 2012. But as we go today, nobody's in the court any longer. All it is court call. Everybody's like on Zoom. You might have one or two people in the actual courtroom. So that's just like my experience on how I became to like understand and know the legal system. So then once I just, I had to come down here and watch what it looks like. The walls are gray. It kind of makes you feel down sometimes. But once you just watch it and get used to it, then you start to understand. I start to even, right when you go in, you always see a couple of bailiffs right there at the front. Then you go through processing, you go through the sheriff's department. They're winding everybody up and down. It's like this whole process. And then all the walls are dark and gray. Everybody's in here always pissed off. It's always a problem. So it's just like something that you kind of want to shy away from. And then when you shy away from it, you leave it up to, lawyers. I've heard it multiple times. People will say, Roseanne, you can't do this on your own. Go get you a lawyer. Get you a lawyer, somebody that knows what's going on. Well, I've done that twice. One time I previously had an attorney, and I just recently had one again do it. So when I'm doing different litigation against the city, I felt like, it was too big for me. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go get somebody that has a license. So I go out and get this individual that has a license, and to tell you what, both times they missed the government claim. So when you actually get damaged, so say when you get suspended or you get terminated, they have 6 months to file the government claim. Now, I've already dealt with 2 of them that didn't know what they were doing, and they blow the cases. So when you say getting an attorney, that's not even always the answer, because if you just get an attorney and the attorney don't know what he's doing, then what do you have? You have nothing. And so even if you were to get an attorney, you got to know what the attorney should be doing too, because this is ultimately your case. It's not his case. So if he misses something, you may have some type of challenges, but then how do you even really know how to handle that if they miss something? So you need to educate oneself. One of the things that really has helped me now is the invention of AI. And what I can say with AI, how I've been able to take, like, just seeing the initial system. What this is, when you get into the Antelope Valley Courthouse, this is a language. There's another language that's being done here. There's the rules of court. You have the civil code of procedure. You have all the different rules. Probate has their rules. Chapter 4 is the probate in Los Angeles Superior Court. Then I think criminal might be 1, civil's 2, maybe family is 3. So these are all different type of realms that you have to be familiar with. That's why there's attorneys that practice family law. Some practice probate law. Some are civil and some are criminal. Well, let me tell you what I've seen. With the invention of AI, I'm not going to say at all that it can replace somebody that's schooled in anything, but what it's done is it's actually even the playing field. And it's even the playing field for me. And what I do with AI today is I specifically set up my AI. So the first thing that I'm doing is, like, depending on what realm I'm in. So, like, right now, I've dealt with issues in, let's see, civil, probate, administrative law, civil, probate, administrative. I dealt with traffic. There are no real rules for traffic, though, right? And so that's it. It's civil, probate, traffic, and administrative law. So now I really realize, too, those rules are really, really distinct in all different realms. So everything is different, but everything what happens is, do you got rules? So like if you come to my house, I live up in, we used to go all around when I grew up in Inglewood, and everybody, all right, where's your fence out at? Where's your fence out? So this fence is out, this fence is out, that's out, and that's the guidelines. So you're gonna be wondering why you're losing if you don't know the rules. So this is what I learned with AI. The first thing is you have to condition it. If I'm going into court to handle any situation right now, the first thing that I need, dang, somebody just beat me up. That's a criminal issue. I need a criminal prosecutor. See what I'm saying? If somebody's dealing with the probate issue, well, I need a probate attorney. Somebody's dealing with family law, child custody maybe, they need a family law attorney. So what I figured out, the first thing with your chat GPT or any of the other large language models, that's the one that I use of preference, is the first thing you have to do, especially in chat GPT, I go into chat GPT, set up a project, and then under the instructions, I go right into AI and say, give me the most, I say first, who is the most skilled person in the world that can handle a probate case? And then it'll tell me, it'll say somebody that's licensed in this and somebody licensed in that and is skilled in the Los Angeles Superior Court. Okay, so that's the person I want. I create that prompt, and then there's actually instructions in the chat. So I fill that into the instructions. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is, then if I'm in the probate, on the Los Angeles Superior Court.org's website, they got the probate rules right there. I'm going to say, give me those rules. I'm going to take those rules. Then right from the Los Angeles Superior Court's website, after I take those rules, then I'm going to go down to the law library. And once I go to the law library, there's various practice guides, really well practice guides that attorneys make. And one is called by Matthew and Bender. So that's a well-established practice guide, even that this is what the attorneys use. So this gives you all the history, all the case laws, so forth, and it even gives you the actual templates that you need to fill out for whatever you need to do within the probate court. So then you're going to go get all of those practice guides. So then what I'm going to do is put my rails on here. So if I'm going to try to look at this, first thing I'm going to do is create the prompt. Now I tell the character what he's doing. Now he's a probate attorney. He's skilled in law. By the chat, it has all the language model information there. So it's like a PhD at this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the practice guide. And I'm going to load the practice guide that has the exact format, the way it's going to, you have to submit it into this court. Then the next thing I'm going to do is download the probate rules from here. If I'm in Los Angeles County, I'll download the Los Angeles County probate rules. If I'm in Riverside, go to their website and download their rules. So once I have all the rules and I have the practice guides, I put all that together. Then the next thing that I start to do was, you want to create a master file. And the chat will create a master file for you. So you pretty much go into your items and you create a master file of what you have. So if I just received a letter from Jane Smith suing me for whatever, I'm going to create a master file. Day one, today is September 20th, I just received this letter. And I'm going to, basically, in the master file, I'm going to create a timeline. So on day one, I received this letter. Then I'm going to actually load this letter. I'm going to create another file and load all the correspondence that I received from the other side, and you load that. So now you're keeping a timeline, okay? Then what I'm going to do is then have chat, okay, on such and such day, I just received this letter. Can you break this down? What does this letter mean? Chat's going to tell you what this letter is. We'll summarize this. So once I have it all summarized, now I just keep running summary of what's occurred. So see, when I keep a running summary of what's occurred, or an attorney will give me maybe another correspondence. Maybe he's doing another motion. You upload it. So once you have that uploaded, now you have all the rules of the court in there. You have the practice guide, which tells you every single thing that you pretty much have to deal with is that practice guide. And you put all that together in chat, and the chat is like a PhD in probate or whatever you're trying to prove. Then at that point in time, you'll come out with, it will be a pretty good basic understanding of what you need to do, because then I can just go in the chat and says, analyze this, this motion that I just received right here, analyze it according to the Matthew and Bender guide, according to the probate rules, and then tell me the 3 possible ways that I could proceed in this matter. Boom, so I ask it that, boom. So now it's gonna give me a really better detailed answer with guardrails on it. And see, then now it's gonna start to, okay, so it may say, do a motion to dismiss for whatever. And then it actually put it into format for a motion to dismiss. So now, if you really build the AI and you structure the AI correctly, it can give you really intelligent answers, almost as best as any attorney could do. That's just what I've experienced in my own personal opinion. So if you can train your chat like that, give it all the rules, give it all the guidelines, and then load all your documents into an organized format, which is called a master file, and you zip all that into one. So if you had all your documents in different folders, this documents I received here, this is the rules, yada, and you put it all into one master file and you zip it. And then you load that into ChatGPT and it has all the rules, it's trained like an attorney. What type of answer do you think you might get? And that's what I'm seeing, how AI is taking us to the next level, because it allows for somebody like me who's not schooled in law. I've never been in here before, and I've had multiple wins already. So if I've never been schooled in law, I'm keeping up with the city of Los Angeles in the administrative realm. You bring in multiple suits. Well, the only thing that allowed for me to do this and even halfway keep up with their pace, nothing's all the way won yet, but just to even deal with this big machine that the city of Los Angeles, they spent millions of dollars, I'm sure, but just to even deal with this machine right here, it gives you an opportunity with AI. And I can jump now into civil, probate, family, whatever issue I would have, I would just go upload the rules. And then once I upload the rules, then I'm going to go and upload that practice guide. If I upload that practice guide, that's going to give me all the ins and outs. And then I just prompt the attorney, you're a family attorney. Now you're a civil attorney. Now you're a probate attorney. And if I prompt it like that, then whatever I have, voila. So that's just my little thing about AI. Take it for what it is. And that's what gives us the advantage right here in court. Peace.
Words in papers, words in books, words on TV, words for books, words of comfort, words of ease, words to make the fighting cease. Eat your words, but don't go hungry. Words have always nearly hung me. Words are stupid, words are fun. Words can put you on the run. Concrete words, abstract words, words to tell you what